Hello and welcome back to another VOD video. This is a series where you can submit your videos for review, and I'll basically just give you my opinions and advice. And for those of you watching, just drop some of your feedback in the comment section below, especially if you think I got something wrong or didn't cover something that needed to be covered. And today's submission comes from All-Star13. He's been playing for just over 3 years, and he recently moved up to a 7 from a 6 in the APA. And eventually his goal is to max out the APA handicap system. The majority of the feedback that he's going to be looking for today is going to be on position play and finding the highest percentage way to get out. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, anyways. This is part 2. We're not watching part 2 yet. Let's get into part 1. Alright, so essentially what I'm going to be doing now, I've already watched this video a few times. I have an idea of what I want to talk about. But what's going to be different this time from last time to help speed things along is I'm only really going to stop the video whenever I see something that I don't agree with. And then at the very beginning of each rack, I'm going to talk about what I would do to get out. So let's get into it. Alright, so I have a sneaking suspicion that you're trying to use the break that I showed, and you're doing a pretty decent job of it. The only thing, I actually refined this break a little bit more. And I know I said I wasn't going to pause the video a bunch of times, but I'm about to pause this video and rewind it. Alright, hold on. Alright, so you're breaking from here, right? Let's get this. Get a little circle tool, put it right there. Bam! Circle. That's a cue ball. Trust me. We're going to put this here, right here. Alright, this is the center of the cue ball. You're going to be aiming like, for the break that I'm talking about, you'd be aiming like right there. Just like half a tip bottom, half a tip left. And ideally the cue ball is going to come here. It's going to hit that. It's going to come off of here, into that rail, and then back out to the center of the table. And that one ball is going to, because of the spin, instead of going straight into this side pocket, it's going to hit a little bit above it. And it's going to come down here. And this thing is just going to stick right in front of the pocket. Just like that. I'm telling you. If you guys haven't tried this break, you need to. It's epic. Man. You get a lot more break and runs the second you get a breakdown. Trust me. But anyways. Let's watch the video. See what happens. Alright, we already know what happens after the break. Essentially, here you are. You're on the one ball. I'm going to play the one ball there. We're going to send the cue ball. Oh man, can't see it. All right, we're going to send the cue ball 1, 2, 3 rails into this line. Ideally, you get like pretty close to straight, draw it back, play the 4 here, play a stop shot on the 5, play the 6 there with a stop shot, maybe follow it forward. Leave an angle on the 7 to go 1, 2, out. Make sure you stay on the left side of this line to go into the 8 ball and down for the 9. That's what I would play. That's the way I would do it. Let's see what you do. One thing to note, you look a little uncomfortable here. Maybe instead of putting the cue ball here, just put it back here. Then you don't have to worry about stretching out, missing because you're stretched out over the table. Alright, so why is going on this line right here bad? At least, you know, in my opinion, because you really only have from like here to maybe like there to stop the cue ball, and you have ideal shape, versus the way that I showed earlier. You're coming like into here and then you're going into this line. You can stop the cue ball anywhere from like honestly here to like right there, and you're still gonna have good shape. So there's a lot more speed control, and you get to bounce off a rail, which is going to help kill the cue ball even more. So anyways, that's the way I would play it. Let's see what happens here. All right, you got a little bit of angle. Bam, pocketed it. You probably don't want to end up like pretty close to straight, but with 4 ball basically sitting in the pocket, it's not a big deal. But yeah. You should just hit this, play the stop shot on the 5, play the 6, leave an angle, get on the 8 with an angle, go down for the 9. All right. You could have played that 5 a little bit more to the right side of this pocket. That way you would have been a little bit more off the rail, and then you don't have to like jack up on the 6 to try and get a little bit of stop. And you didn't even get the stop because it actually rolled forward. Originally, I had planned to go off the rail and back out, but here you just go off this rail and back up. Just make sure you stay behind this side of the 8-ball. And you did. You got perfect. Hit this, float down, 1, 2 rails. Perfect. And you got out of the first rack. Very well played. The only thing I would have played different is probably the 3-ball. Other than that, you shot fine. Shot really good. And you got a short wall over here blocking you, but you got a short cue too, and you got out. All right, let's get into the next rack and see what happens. All right, same break again. We'll see what happens. And there goes the 1-ball off this rail down here, but it just goes. That's fine. You get ball in hand anyways after this. All right. So we're gonna pause it real quick, talk about how I would get out. For those of you watching, this is the 4-ball. There's the 2. Anyways, how am I gonna get out from here? Yeah. I guess the 2 to the 4 is like the biggest problem because this 7 here is kind of in the way of like the ideal position that you want to get. I think I like hitting it, maybe just like floating over here. Bring the cue ball over here. And you make the 4 like this, bam. And you have 2 options. You can like spin it with bottom left and go 1, 2, 3 rails out. Or you can just go 1, 2 rails. But no, you don't want to go 2 rails. You don't, and not 2 rails. I mean, you don't want to go 1 rail here because you're gonna hit the you're gonna run into the 7. Maybe you can cut it thin and like come straight back up. That's the way I would play it. I'll see what you do. And yeah, basically once you get on the 2-ball, this rack is pretty much, or once you get on the 5-ball, this rack's pretty much over, right? I mean, you basically just, you hit the 7, come over here, make the 8, come back off the rail, come back out for the 9. Pretty simple. What are we gonna do? So you decided to follow it down. I like that. You know, you could have drawn it back, but draw for show, follow for dough, right? That's what I hear a lot of people say. Seems to be accurate. Here you're probably just gonna spin this with some bottom right, come back out for the 5, and yeah. Yeah, you got your shape on the 5. Probably a little more angle than you wanted. I really like the decision here to just go an extra bail. I made a video about that too. You're able to hit the ball, pocket it confidently, and still get good shape on the 7. Here, come off this rail, right? Probably come up here. Something like that. Yep. And here, I guess, looks like you want to shoot the 9-ball over there. You got a little bit of angle. You should be able to get over there fine. It's kind of hard to hold the cue ball for this pocket over here. Yeah, you're fine. Probably could have hit a little bit harder, just committed to like getting over to this rail, but You still got an easy shot to get out. And you are up 2-0 on the ghost. Good shooting. Just fast forward a little bit. All right, here we are. All right, so you got the 1 down here, the 2 here. This is a little bit difficult. Obviously, like, you're really tempted to shoot this into the side pocket, but you can't. So what you're gonna have to do is put the cue ball like there, kind of draw back with some bottom right, get on the 2. If you get straight, you can shoot the 3 over here. If you get like a little bit awkward, maybe you can follow it, shoot the 3 down here. If you get like a little less awkward, there's a lot of options. It's all going to be depend on like basically where you fall on the 2 ball too. Maybe you can draw back and then shoot the 3 down here. Be a lot of options. Then you're going to try to probably cut this in the side pocket, come off the rail, come over, shoot this 5, come off the rail. Make sure you leave a lot of angle on this 6 to come off this rail and come back over for the 7. And then, yeah, you make the 7. Maybe just draw back a little bit, shoot the 8 in the side pocket, then float down for the 9 over here. That's, just a quick glance at the table, but really all of it's going to hinge on how you get on this 2 ball. And honestly, the first time I watched this, when I first saw you make this choice to play the 2 ball all the way down in the corner pocket, I was really happy. Like, strangely happy. It's like, wow, what a great choice. But unfortunately, you get a little bit awkward here. Now you're kind of like, the tangent line's going straight into the side pocket, right? If you try to like draw behind it, you risk like hitting the rail and then going into the 4, like behind it. That's kind of awkward. I don't know if you can follow it and get past this side pocket to shoot the 3, to shoot like the 3 down here. Like maybe you could have hit the top, come off there, and like play the 3 down here. I don't know if that was possible, but you ended up pretty good. I really liked your choice to like draw into the 4. That way you don't have to worry about getting behind the 4. You make sure the 4 is going to be out of the way. And that shot you hit right there, it doesn't look super hard, but it's a really finicky shot, right? Because you have to like hit the cut, somewhat accurately, but you have to be really careful not to like just come down here and scratch. Like you have to be really careful to make sure you hit like perfectly, like so it's go straight down the tangent line and then back up. So really well executed there. All right. And like I said earlier, the most important part of this shot is making sure you leave a big angle on that 6 to get over for the 7. Because unfortunately the 8 is blocking the, the 8's blocking this pocket down here. You didn't leave as much angle as I would have liked. Probably hit a little more bottom, a little more right. And, you would have left the cue ball like right here instead. I think that's probably the ideal place to leave the cue ball. Obviously, closer would be nice, but yeah, just like on that line would have been ideal. Now you're gonna have to you're really gonna have to put some muscle behind this shot, right? You're gonna have to like hit it hard and then like finesse it with like slight amount of bottom, maybe like a tip of right to get it back over for the 7 ball. And when I saw you shoot this shot, I was impressed too. I thought that was a great shot. Here you do end up a little awkward. Now you're like kind of running into the 9 ball if you just hit straight top. If you try to like go in between these, the 9 ball and the rail, you risk scratching. If you try to get to the left side of the 9 ball, I don't even know if you can, honestly. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's why you missed. If you watch, I keep referring to my videos, but if you watch like 5 reasons you keep missing shots, one of the reasons I talked about was you're trying to send the cue ball somewhere it just can't physically go when you're cutting the ball at a certain angle to pocket it. And so in order to like get more influence on where the cue ball was going, you decided to straighten out the 7 just a little too much, and you ended up missing it. So score is now what, 2-1, I think. You're up 2. Ghost has 1 point. Nice bank on the 7, but unfortunately, it just doesn't count. And thank you for fast forwarding too. I appreciate that. All right. And again, we see that. Yeah. I think it's like the one thing to be careful on your break. I see the cue ball is continuing to go to this side when you're breaking from over here. When you're breaking from over here, you usually want the cue ball to like stay on the left side of the table. Ideally, you like come off this rail and then back out to the center. Sometimes you like pop it up and just come back to like right there. But yeah. All right, so how do I get out from here? We'll just watch what you do. It's a pretty simple table. I think the key shot here is going to be getting from the 4 to the 5 because they're on opposite sides of the table. So you got pretty much straight in here. I think that's fine. You just kind of draw back, right? Oh. Yeah, just kind of draw back. Come like that. You probably draw back to like right there. And come out like that. Just make sure you leave a nice angle so you can go like that off this rail and back over for the 5. That's going to be the most important part of this shot. It's the most important part of this rack, actually. We got plenty of angle. Maybe a little bit more than you bargained for. You can spin this in with a bit of bottom, good amount of right, and you can come on to the long side of the 5. And you can come off this rail and come back out over here. Or you can just hit it with top and just let it float over here and then shoot the 5 all the way down. Either way is fine. You probably higher percentage shot to just accept that you have to take the long 5. And that's exactly what you do. I think it's a great choice. And actually, I know this because I already watched this. I didn't realize you could actually shoot this 5 into the side pocket. Some tables, you really don't want to be shooting that shot because the side pockets are so tight. But it seems like this table, the side pocket's pretty loose, so you might as well take advantage of it. So this is where like maybe you could have improved a little bit. You either want to get dead straight or you want to leave a lot of angle here, right? So if you get dead straight, you could have just drawn, straight back and then got on the 9. Or if you left more angle, you could have easily, went 1, 2, 3 rails down for the 9. Or the other option was you could have came over to this side, made the 8 ball here, and then cue ball could have just came off here. You could have spun it with some left and then come down for this this 9 ball over here. Yeah. But now you're like kind of like you're close to straight in, but you can't draw straight back because it's going to be going towards the side pocket. I guess you can like force follow it and then come straight down the table. And I'm not really sure why you missed it. Maybe you're just trying to control where the cue ball goes again. But you probably should have gotten out there. But that's fine. It's 2-2. We're going to go ahead and get into the second game, or the second part of this video. All right. So we see the break. Really nice spread. Should be a pretty simple rack. I don't think the 5 goes over here. I think you're going to have to shoot it over there. So the only really important shot of this rack is going to be going off this rail and back out for the 5. Just make sure you leave an angle to do that. Or you can get dead straight and just draw straight back. The other option, I guess if you get on like the wrong side of the 3-ball, you could go like 1, 2 rails, but that's what you want to avoid, right? That's what's going to make this rack hard. So you guys decided to go with the inside. I probably like leaving like a little bit more of a thin cut. So instead of sending the cue ball like that and then going like that, I like kind of cutting it thin, and then with a bit of right, and then you have a better feel for like how fast the cue ball is going to go. But you end up fine, right? Probably just spin this with a little bit of inside, right English to hold it. Well played. Get a nice angle to float over for the 7. And woo, that was close. I think you're better off hitting a little more bottom and just drawing it past the side pocket. Then you don't even have to flirt with it. Yeah, that's probably what I would have done. Just don't leave yourself stuck on the rail. Don't leave yourself stuck on the rail here. Put a little muscle into it. Just get a couple inches off the rail. That's all you really want. And you're like right on the rail. That makes this shot so much harder. So now you have to like jack up, hit with bottom right, and try to get the cue ball to like come into this rail and then back over. It's gonna be really hard from where you're at. Man, you actually hit that too good. Wow. That's a great shot. Yeah, good shot. You know, with what you were left, that's really the best you could ask for. Ideally, you know, the cue ball is going to like end up here, but you can't complain about getting down here and getting that shot on the 9 with where you left yourself on the 8. All right, well played. You're up 3-2 on the Ghost. I believe that's the score. All right, so this rack's a little more interesting. You didn't make anything, so now you got there 9 balls. Yeah, there's 9 balls on the table. So, I guess playing the combo, the 3-8 combo, is probably your best bet. So, shoot this, make that. That's fine. Make that. That's fine. Play the combo. Have the 3 come off this rail and back out. Make sure you end up on, you know, this side so the cue ball comes like over here. So you have a shot on the cue ball, or you have a shot on the 3 ball, no matter where it ends up. And then from there, it's pretty simple. As long as you can get to that point, you should be able to get out. Just, you know, bring the cue ball over here, play the 5, maybe draw back a little bit, play the 6 on the side, stop, play the 7 here. The 8 ball's already going to be gone, and then maybe go 2 rails over here, just stop it and follow it a little bit and play that over there. Oh, I don't think I talked about making the 4 ball. Well, yeah, the 4 ball's right in the pocket, so I guess what's going to be different is the 4 to the 5. So cue ball will be like here on the 3, and then you can just like go like that. So pretty much the same out. All right, let's see what happens. Okay. Float over for a stop shot on the 2. That's fine. Should just see you stop it. You don't want to draw this a whole bunch. Perfect. Play the 3-8 combo. 3's probably going to end up coming off this bottom rail. That's my guess. Oh, you actually hit it. That's fine. Doesn't matter. Here, I kind of like hitting this thin and like sending the cue ball here and then back out. But that was fine the way you played it. Yeah, just send it like that. Come over for the 5. Just make sure you don't go towards the side pocket here. You never really think about the side pocket on shots like this until it happens. And you did a good job. Perfect. I think you can draw straight back, play the 6 on the side, play a stop shot on the 7, or you can go off the rail and back out for the 9. It's up to you. Yeah, I left a little bit more angle, probably than ideal. It's not a big deal though. Probably just hit it, send the cue ball down like that, back down for the 7, right? Oh, I like that choice. Yeah, that's good. Dang, you left yourself on the rail again though. That's something I see you doing a lot, is you're leaving yourself on the rail. If you can, think about running into the rail and then coming back off of it. It's one thing to get to the rail, but it's another thing to make sure you get off of it. And that'll make your outs so much easier. But yeah, you played that well. Very well. Okay, here, you don't even need ball in hand. I mean, perfect on the 2. That's a foul, you lose. I'm just kidding. That was dumb. I'm not going to make those jokes anymore. Sorry. Yeah, right? Stop shot. Maybe come off the rail or just draw it straight back. Make the 6. 6 to the 7 is going to be the big problem here. Can you get from the 6 to the 7? I probably want to go 3 rails at it. So I guess you want to leave a nice angle. All right. I don't think getting on the 5 is going to be a problem. You just go into this, maybe spin it out with top, a little bit of right, and we'll see what happens. You ran into the 7, makes it even harder. Huh. Yeah, you probably want less angle on the 4, but you got where you got. Let's hit a stop shot, maybe follow it a little bit, make it easier on the 6. Yeah, I like that. Well played. All right, so this is the shot that I said was going to be the key shot in this rack, right? So from where you're at right now, you can hit it, make the 6 here, and what you're going to do is come off this rail. What I'm trying to think about is like where on this rail you want to hit. And I'm thinking you kind of want to send it like here, there, and then like over there. That would be ideal. You want to pick a point somewhere on this rail that you want the cue ball to hit. Because if you just do like the standard 3 rail and you end up going straight towards this pocket, then you have to like stop the cue ball somewhere in between these 2 points. You got to stop it like here or here before it scratches. Versus, playing it my way, it can come down and it doesn't matter if it stops here or if it goes down and then stops like all the way down here. So you have a much bigger room for air, and you got the air, and you got the rail to help stop it. That's probably an inaccurate word. It'd probably go like more like there. Anyways, you get the idea. Yeah. So you hit it pretty good. But once again, we have the same problem. I guess when you're going through rails, I can't complain too much about like you stopping the cue ball on the rail. All right, so again, I can't complain about you stopping the cue ball like on the rail. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But ideally, instead of like putting so much English that it hits this point of the rail, you can just hit it and it'll hit here, and you'll end up in a much better spot on that rail rather than all the way down here like you ended up because you hit over there, right? Anyways, now it's a little bit awkward. You're gonna have to like probably run into the 9, send it towards the side pocket. Hopefully, you just kind of glance the 9 will move up towards the side pocket, and the cue ball will come off of here and back out, and you can shoot the 9 in this side pocket. Side pocket, side pocket. Oh, okay. Or you can just muscle out of it. That works too. I like that. You made sure the 9 ball got away and came back. So, well played. I like that shot. Good job. And, unfortunately you miss it. For people who, obviously you're not going to hear this because I have it muted because he has music playing. I don't want to get copyrighted. His phone actually goes off right here, and that's why he ends up missing the 9. He should have won. All in all, really good player. Let's just talk about a few of the things that I saw. All right. So picking a point on the rail, that's an important part. So whenever you're going 3 rails, why is this still there? Come on now. Oh, goodness. Is this freezing again? Okay. All right. So first point. I know you didn't put list fundamentals as the thing that you were looking for help on, but here, these walls, I hope they're perpendicular, right? So really straight down is something like this angle. Oh goodness. Let me enlarge this. All right. Delete these. Okay. So straight up and down is like something, it's going to be something like these 2 angles here. So straight up and down, your arm should be like right there whenever your cue is that far away from the cue ball. But instead, I see this, off angle. And I think what you're doing is you're holding the cue too far back. So I would recommend choking up like to here. Maybe hold the cue ball there. Somewhere in that area. Let me highlight this so you can see it a little bit better. Oh, come on. All right. So like maybe your hand should be like in this area instead of being where it is. That's the only really thing that I noticed with the fundamentals that probably should be changed. You don't have to change it, but it's something to look into. Try it out and just see how you shoot with it. See if you see like any improvement in your game. And if you do, just stick with it. If you don't, I mean, you can just go back to what you're doing. All right. Another thing let's talk about is let's see if we can switch views. All right, so I'm gonna open up my little text document here and get somewhere I can actually see it. All right, cool. All right, so the other thing, let's see here. So fundamentals, I'd say choke up on the cue. Your arm should be perpendicular. Should be at 90 degrees to the ground. When you are at your closest point to the cue ball without touching it. Yeah, I think you get the idea of what it is that I'm trying to say. Yeah, so that's under fundamentals. And we're gonna move on to position play. And I think you played pretty well. There's just a couple of things that you should probably pay a little bit more attention to. So make sure to leave big angles when necessary. We saw this multiple times whenever you're playing, that you would leave an angle, but it wouldn't be as much of an angle as you needed to get to where you wanted to go. So you're on the right side of the ball, just not enough of the right side of the ball. The next thing is get off the rail. Yeah, I saw this a ton of times, more times than I could count. This video, you're playing good, you're playing very well, but no, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, Siri's thinking I'm talking to her. Anyways, make sure you get off the rail. Man, it'll make your life so much easier once you start doing that. I think you're playing into a rail, but you're not thinking about where it's going to go after it gets to the rail. So just make sure you play it with enough speed to get 3, 4, 5 inches away from the rail, especially if you're going to have to draw the ball. That way you're not choking up all the time, like there. I think you're pretty straight here, but something you could have done instead is maybe followed it up and hit here and then came back out. That would have made it easier. I think you could have there was another option here too, I believe. If I go back just a little bit. Yeah. You had another option here, actually. I didn't even think about that until just now. You could have just drawn this ball straight back and you would have gotten off the rail for sure. And you could have played that 8 right there and then just followed with the cue ball into this rail and back over. And if you ended up on the other side of it, you can just follow down for the 9 over here. I think that would have been a lot easier than what you left yourself with. Man, I'm trying to think what other advice I have for you, because you played really well. I'm really being nitpicky about the position and what I'm saying. So, I don't know. Good job. You're definitely on the right track. As a 7, I think you're a strong 7 in the APA, no doubt. And the fact that you were a 6 not too long ago, you're a very strong 6. I would not want to play you as a 6. I'm just going to think about this for a second. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Let me go back to here. All right. Open part 1 up again. Let's skip through here. We talked about the break. Yeah, that's something I need to talk about. The break, I'd say work on getting the cue ball to the left side of the table when breaking from the left Yeah. And what else is there? Let's go through this video real quick. Boop, boop. Yeah. Here, this was like the first big mistake. Just make sure you're going into the line instead of playing against it. That's but I seen you play with the line quite a few times too. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. And here, good choice, good choice, good choice, good choice, good choice. We're fast forwarding, fast forwarding. There. Yeah, and this was, I think this was the other time that I was referring to. So you left an angle, you're on the right side of the ball, but just not enough on the right side of the ball to get to where you want to be. And man, really, that's all the feedback I have for you, man. You're a pretty good shot. You're playing pretty good. I wish I could be more helpful. I really do. But you're a good shot, so. Oh yeah, and that's the last thing. Aha! There is one last thing. Pocketing. Don't change the aim of the object ball too much to control where the cue ball is going. Right? It's fine to cheat the pocket, but you still got to make the ball. Don't forget. And you're not going to be at the table if you miss the ball. So, and that's it. That's my feedback for you. That's going to be the end of this video. If you guys think I missed something or there's something I need to talk about, please leave your feedback in the comment section. That's the whole point of this series, is people can get their play out in front of a large audience and get feedback from multiple people, not just myself. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for the submission, All-Star. I wish you the best in becoming a 9. I think you're on the right road. Really, my biggest suggestion is just try choking up on the cue a little bit. Yeah. Try choking up on the cue a little bit. See how you play with it. If it's not for you, don't worry about it. But if it improves, stick with it. And best of luck. See ya.